Welcome to the South Ops Fire Weather Webcast for Thursday, October 17th. I'm your host, Kristen Stewart. There's a very deep marine layer in place across the south coast, with low clouds surging far into the coastal slopes, all thanks to a trough of low pressure moving into the west. The marine layer stratus is more disorganized across the central coast, as dry northwest flow aloft acts to disintegrate it. Expect cloud cover to clear out over the central coast and the clouds over Southern California to be sluggish to clear yet again. Patchy marine layer drizzle is also possible through the morning. The deep trough of low pressure that has moved into the Pacific Northwest will drop southeastward along the California-Nevada border through Friday. The trough will likely weaken and linger over the desert southwest Friday into Saturday as it cuts off from the main flow pattern. This will bring some gusty north to northeast winds across the area over the next couple days, as well as much cooler than normal temperatures. I will mention that it is very difficult to forecast the evolution and movement of cutoff lows, so there will be some amount of uncertainty in the forecast. Several degrees of cooling is expected across the area today, bringing high temperatures at least 8 to 12 degrees below normal. Coastal valley highs will only max out in the mid-60s, while inland valleys in the low to mid-70s. Today will definitely feel like a nice, cool fall day. Humidity will remain elevated today, with minimums largely in the 30 to 50% range, above and away from the marine layer. However, the deserts will remain much drier, with minimums in the teens and 20s. There also may be some drier pockets across the central coast. The wind forecast will be a major player in the weather over the next several days. There will be a lot of variations in the wind, especially with regards to direction. So let's take this step by step. As the trough starts to move southeastward today, there will be increasing west to northwest winds across the area, particularly for the higher terrain and deserts. We should expect west to northwest winds to peak around 20 to 30 miles an hour, with gusts to 50 miles an hour for the most wind-prone mountain ridges, canyons, and into the deserts this afternoon. Isolated gusts to 60 miles an hour are possible across windiest spots. With the humidity remaining elevated, these winds will generally not be a fire weather concern, except for some desert areas. As the trough continues to move southward into Nevada, winds will shift into more of a northwest to north direction for tonight. There will be very good upper-level wind support to enhance these northerly winds for this period, especially for the central coast and the deserts. As a result, expect northwest to north winds to peak around 20 to 30 miles an hour, with gusts to 50 miles an hour for the most wind-prone areas of the central coast, Santa Ynez Range, Interstate 5 Corridor, Mojave Slopes, and the Owens Valley. Finally, on Friday morning, as the trough will cut off from the main flow over the desert southwest, winds will likely shift into a northeast Santa Ana wind. There still remains uncertainty as to how strong the winds will be, though there is fairly good confidence in winds peaking around 15 to 25 miles an hour, with gusts to 45 miles an hour for the wind-prone ridges and canyons of Southern California. Winds will likely weaken on Saturday. Model projections are now indicating that humidity will likely remain elevated through tonight, and will likely rapidly lower by mid-Friday morning. Minimums will likely lower into the 10 to 20% range, with some locally drier areas in the single digits. These dry conditions will likely continue into next week. The cutoff low will finally pull away on Sunday, and weak high pressure will be overhead into at least the early to mid part of next week. Winds will become weaker, and temperatures will gradually warm up to closer to normal. Large fire potential will remain low today due to the cool temperatures and higher humidity. In the forecast, there remains a high risk of new large fires for the central coast and its interior for Friday due to the gusty northerly winds and rapidly lowering humidity and drying of finer fuels. However, models are indicating that the strongest winds in this area will occur when humidity remains elevated, so there is a chance that high-risk criteria will not be met. Elevated fire weather concerns are also likely for Southern California on Friday, with breezy Santa Ana winds and very low RH. Current projections show that conditions will likely not reach high-risk criteria, since winds will likely not be strong enough, but it will continue to be monitored. Large fire potential will likely become low Saturday into next week as winds become lighter. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in. Our next webcast will be on Friday, October 18th. Have a fantastic day.